Hey everybody, before I get started, I just want to mention a couple of ways that you can engage with me on a more personal level. I have a few avenues set up and I keep focusing on one, and I figured why don't I make a short little video talking about all of them real quick before we get into these episodes. So first thing, Patreon. There's a link in the episode description and every episode description to the Patreon, as well as a video on the feed called Major Announcement that has all the details of what each tier offers and how much they cost. I implore you to check that out. I offer a lot of cool shit for my patrons. Second thing, the Discord channel. There's also a Discord link in the episode description and in every episode description. I have multiple channels set up there for each show that I'm covering, and it's a great way to just engage with me. I have a channel set up for MMA talk as well. I'm a big MMA fan, so if you're an MMA fan, you can check that out as well. There's a link to the Discord in the episode description. And then lastly, the Facebook and Twitter. Social media. Follow me on there. I post news on there. When I say news, I mean like, hey, I'm stopping covering this show. Hey, I'm starting covering this show. Let me know what you think about this. I do live watches of things on Facebook where like I'll check in and say I'm watching so-and-so show, and then I'll like live comment while I'm watching it, and that'll be cool if maybe you watch that show too and you want to watch along with me, or you're watching it later and you will see my thoughts, which are usually pretty entertaining because I'm usually pretty high when I'm writing them. So check out all those links in each episode description, and let's talk about this episode. Peace.
One mic, one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic. One mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic. One mic. One mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, and today I'm here to talk about Season 2, Episode 8 of Showtime's Yellowjackets, entitled It Chooses. Did it though? I don't think it did. Misty and Natalie choose. Lottie also drops the line directly. She's like, we don't get to decide. It chooses. Well, you did get to decide, and it did not choose. Is the show trying to tell us that the girl's behavior is more of a symptom of hunger and hallucinations rather than a supernatural being? I think it probably is. A supernatural scapegoat. Like, I think that's what the girls are doing. Is it just the scapegoat? Kind of seems like it is, but I think I see what's wrong with this season now and why I haven't liked it as much. They just flat out didn't have 10 episodes of storytelling. They just of a compelling story. Like, there's so much filler in this season, and a lot of that filler is noticeably bad. Like, everything with adult Shauna, bad. Objectively bad. Like, these were my shortest notes. Like, when I take notes in my phone while I'm watching, these were the shortest notes I've ever had for a Yellowjackets episode. All 10 in season 1, 8 of this one. 18 episodes, by far the shortest notes that I've ever had for a Yellowjackets episode, because very precious little of relevance happens in this episode to the last 10 minutes or so. And this is episode 8 of 10. And they pissed away a significant portion, giving us absolutely fucking nothing. Like, this season is... This is gonna sound extreme, but I think it is to a degree true. This season has had moments... Well, this episode, for me, had a moment that is indicative of the quality of this season that is so bad that it actually worsened season 1, like, retroactively. Like, now that Javi is dead, like, for real dead, and we know for sure that he cannot be Adam, is it not incredibly underwhelming to know for sure that Adam was just some fucking regular fucking guy, and we did all that theorizing on his importance just for him to be some regular fucking guy? Like, does that not feel does that not take the wind and the air out of season 1? To know that, like, everything, like, the whole internet is just like, yo, who is Adam? Oh, it might be Javi. All this kind of shit. And now we know, now that Javi is for real dead, Adam was just some motherfucker. Like, that's really disappointing for me. But, Javi coming back and saying nothing till he says a few sentences right before he dies, that was pretty underwhelming too. Like, it feels like we kind of got Javi back for no reason. Now, granted, that's not the case. We do end up getting something out of Javi's return, but it didn't feel like much. But we have to talk about what precious little happened in this episode. Far be it from me to bring an assertion of not a lot to say without receipts. So let's see how little I have to say about what little happened in this episode. And I want to start with the plot line that has slammed the entire fucking brakes on this show the absolute hardest, which is the entire adult storyline. Like, and this is what I said when we had a whole portion of the show that was just a complete fucking waste. It was the adult one, and not just in this episode. They went to all the trouble to get all of the adult women in the same place, plus Lottie, plus Van, and they busted their fucking nut getting them there in episode 6 with 4 episodes left. And then they had to spin their fucking wheels to keep them there until they had something cool to do with them at the end of the season. Because they sure as shit didn't have anything cool to do with them in these last 2 episodes. They danced and they bonded and they have a cute little time last week. Then this week, they shared a bunch of fucking information with each other that we already fucking knew. So all we had to do is sit there and listen to them share a bunch of shit we already fucking knew. And I don't know if I have ever seen a more obvious stalling tactic in a television show ever. Like they really have done jack shit with the adult women for 2 full episodes. If you watch my brief coverage of Rings of Power, I was out on that show when they ended one episode like, we're gonna go to wherever the fuck place. I've already forgot the place. Then they ended the very next episode like, all right, time to go to wherever the fuck place. I'm like, how do you end 2 consecutive episodes at the same place? This show brought all the girls together in episode 6. I'm like, yo, this shit about to go down. Didn't do shit with them in episode 7. Didn't do shit with them in episode 8. And then they set up this fucking, the drinks thing is gonna happen presumably in episode 9. But I don't know. Can I guarantee that whatever happens with these drinks that Lottie has, is this gonna come into play in episode 9? It looks like it might, but I don't know. They pissed away 2 fucking episodes during this plot line doing jack shit. So like, how do I know they're gonna have those drinks? I don't know. But like I said, like even the drink thing was kind of not done that well. Like it felt to me, even that felt poorly executed on because they didn't end the episode with that cliffhanger. So I initially forgot about the goddamn cliffhanger. But oh man, but the way the season's been going, I'm still not confident something's gonna come out of the drink thing. Like yeah, probably, but And now already I've recapped the entire adult portion of this episode. Because all it was itself was a fucking recap. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, I have nothing to say. Shauna told everybody else some shit we already know. Misty told everybody else some shit we already know. like Natalie told some shit we already know. Like, man, I can't. I watched it on. Well, I didn't watch it on Friday. It came out on Friday. It's fucking like, what day is this? Tuesday. It's Tuesday right now that I'm recording this video. I'm still very clearly upset about all the time wasted in the adult storyline over these last 2 episodes. But another example of shit getting dragged out in the adult timeline is having the women delay telling Van the truth. Like, why are you lying to the most hardcore secret society of all time? If there's anyone who you ain't gotta worry about judging you for killing somebody, it's the motherfuckers you ate people with. Like, why are you lying about killing somebody to someone that you ate a person with? Like, they don't give a fuck. They ate a child person. Like, they ate a 17-year-old. Like, you sit down to dinner to eat a 17-year-old girl, and the person that you ate a 17-year-old girl with, you like, I can't tell. They might accidentally kill somebody. Like, well, she didn't accidentally. Well, no, she kind of did, but whatever. Like, you can't tell the person that you served up Jackie fucking fucking French dip Jackie sandwich. You can't tell that person that you share the Jackie French dip with that you killed somebody. Like, that made no sense to me that they dragged that out for no fucking reason, dog. Like, I just, like any other scenario, you could go, okay, yeah, you might want to not tell somebody that you killed that person, but they're talking to the yeah. Like if somebody like, hey, can you imagine a scenario where it's okay to tell somebody that you killed somebody? I wouldn't come up with it's okay to tell the person that you cannibalize someone else with, because that's obvious. That's obviously gonna be okay. Like, why would I even come up with that? Anyway, I'm gonna have to force myself to move on because I can rant about this for a long time. But I'm not gonna waste your time like the show did. I'm not gonna waste your time by continuing to talk about that. But I'm also not gonna waste your time by even resuming talking about Callie and Kevin's partner. Shout out to those two actors delivering this terrible fucking material with a straight face. Like, this whole thing about Callie having fucked him and oh my god, or him having fucked Callie. It's so bad. It's so bad. I can't. Anyway, and the actress playing Callie, she could barely keep it together. Like, I'm saying props for keeping a straight face, but barely from Callie. Anyway, the one thing that I did like in the adult timeline was the stuff they did with Jeff and Kevin and the partner and Callie, kind of like collectively. The photos of what happened to Adam, and the dream that Jeff has about where Shauna has the knife hands or whatever. I think very clearly was meant to showcase that Jeff is now, even though he's defending her, is very much now scared of what Shauna is capable of. And I thought that was pretty cool, and a cool way to show us that in a an indirect way, but via the dream. And then I also love the conversation that he then had with Callie about the wilderness baby. Like, cause we didn't know for sure. I wondered this. I don't think I said it in the video, but I wondered if Jeff had read about the wilderness baby when he stole the journals, and he knew about it. And like, cause he said like, oh, I know what what you've been through or whatever. But I think when that moment happened, I'm not sure we knew about the wilderness baby yet. So I don't know if we knew that Jeff knew that, and Jeff could have been referring to that. But either way, I thought that was a great scene when him and Callie when he's sharing with Callie what Shauna went through as far as having the baby in the wilderness. I thought that was a really great scene. But moving on with the wilderness, Ben finds the hatch using Javi's drawing after Natalie tells him that she saw Javi bowing to a tree. So he goes through Javi's papers. He finds the drawing that originally looked like a vagina, but we come to understand is like I believe roots of a tree. He does find that tree. He finds a hatch. There's like bones in there. I think it was kind of dark, but it looked like there might have been like tunnels maybe. I don't know if it's just a hatch there. But that ends up happening. I do get to pat myself on the back. We do get the Queen of Hearts reveal with the blacked out eyes. It does turn out it was what I said about that being essentially a sacrifice card. All the girls have to pull from it. Natalie ends up pulling from it. The show didn't bother explaining how they arrived at like, hey, let's do this thing with the card. All they said was like, hey, we need to figure out a plan that's not, if Lottie dies, we eat her. Like, we need to come up with a plan other than that, which I don't know why. I feel like that's a good plan. Like, they're just like, oh, we have to preserve Lottie so that she can keep doing her stupid fucking, like, hey, can you smell the air? Like, can you sniff the wind or whatever the fuck they do? Like, I guess they need Lottie for that, so they want to come up with a non-Lottie eating contingency plan. I think the Lottie eating plan is fine, but like I said, they don't bother explaining how they arrived at this drawing of the Queen of Hearts thing. We don't know what the rules are. Like, what was the point of putting Jackie's necklace on them? I would have liked to have seen a conversation. Like, how do you even get everyone to agree to this? Like, everyone agrees, like, okay, essentially, we all agree one of us is going to sacrifice ourselves here. Like, I don't know how you get everyone to agree to that. I would have liked to have seen that scene. But I'm sure that they were just like, that's going to be hard. So let's just skip that. That's going to be hard to get a whole bunch to explain to the audience why a whole bunch of teenagers agreed to sacrifice one of themselves. That's going to be a really hard scene to write. So let's just skip that. And we'll just go straight to the fucking ceremony thing. Like, I see what you did here. Yeah, that was a look of dissatisfaction. But Natalie ends up pulling the card. Travis saves her. They chase her. Javi runs into her. He's like, hey, I know somewhere that we can hide. He inexplicably then runs out of the woods, where presumably if he's in the woods, he's near a tree. He then runs out of the woods. Oh, I can't believe how stupid this was. Like this show has gotten objectively bad to me. Like, I really do. Like, like this show and Ted Lasso can just hop in the ring and fight it out to see who's gonna have the shittiest fucking season and which show is gonna be the biggest disappointment of 2023. They can fight it out. Right now, I think I don't even know. I think this is ahead. This moved in the first place. This moved in the first place when they spent 2 episodes doing jack shit, having all the adult women in the same place, and spent one of those 2 episodes having them all tell information that we already knew. That's when this show moved in the first place. So this one's winning it in the race to shittiness. But despite undoubtedly being somewhere near a place to hide, Javi runs out into the wide open universe and ends up falling into the ice. And that's when we see that it did not choose, that very much Natalie and Misty chose. Natalie tries to save Javi. Misty's like, yo, if you save him, they just gonna eat you. Like, I just let him die, we can eat him. So that's what ends up happening. She doesn't say if you let him die, we can eat him, but what she ends up saying is something like, oh, it chose. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, we'll see. Is Travis gonna have a lot? Travis not gonna be eating for a while. He not gonna eat that, right? He's not gonna eat that. Anyway, I don't know how you continue to have a cordial relationship with these people after this. If you're Natalie, maybe the show is going to try to explain that. That sounds like that's going to be hard. So, as evidenced by their disinterest in revealing the rules to the card game, because that was presumably going to be hard, I don't really expect to get an explanation for why Natalie does not or has not already killed these people. Because that will be pretty hard, and they don't want to do things that are hard. But I don't understand how this is not a like we can't get past this. Like, here's the thing, they weren't even gonna kill her reluctantly. Like, I do think we're meant to understand that this is more of like their nature now. Like, they are just these people, as opposed to like, oh, we need to do this to sacrifice to the thing. Like, this is who you are. But they should be reluctant to eat their friend and not excited and chanting and doing all this shit and running after with knives with whatever fuck sounds they were making. Like, you shouldn't be hyped. Like, this should be a thing where it's like, okay, Natalie pulled the card. Let's see if we can maybe like knock her out, and then we'll kill her, and then we'll eat her. And like, and we're all gonna feel really, really, really fucking shitty about it. Not, we're gonna chase her, taunting her, laughing, chanting, screaming, excitedly, like we can't wait to kill her, and then you don't kill her, and now, however many years later, they cool? Nah, no. It's on site for Shauna, it's on site for Taissa, Van, Lottie, not Misty, but it's on site for everybody else if I'm Natalie. I don't know why they're alive, but I'm going to close out with a couple quick thoughts. Walter looks to be setting up Misty here, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he's probably going to try to protect her. He's pretending to be someone with a tip, and he says something like, hey, let's meet up. But I think this is going to be like a distraction, or it's going to be something he's going to do to, I think, curry favor with Misty rather than actually betray her. I thought the reveal that Aquila / John Coffey's Mr. Jangles was actually a skeleton and not an actual living mouse, I thought that was really cool. And then lastly, I said in a moment ago, Travis gonna eat Javi? What you think? I'm thinking no. I will reluctantly see you guys next week for the penultimate episode of this season. I am going to hope that this show delivers in these final 2 episodes. I don't know how the fuck you dropped the ball on It Chooses, but they fucking found a way to waste half of the episode and be mediocre in the other half, but here we are. Hopefully they can finish out these last 2 solid. I don't know what to expect, but I will see you guys next week for episode 9, and until then, peace.